All
Uh,
right. We'll see how it goes.
hmm. Are those
Oh,
owls?
that's hella slow. Mhm.
Javon, are those owls behind you?
Yes, they are.
Ah, now I need a Tootsie Pop.
I
A
mean,
one, a two, a three.
Yeah,
A
sure.
three. Dude, that's so old. That's
I
such an
know.
old reference. Why
I
did I
know.
pull that out of my pocket?
I mean, next up, you're gonna have like Schoolhouse Rock or something.
I mean, I'm just a bill. I'm
Yep.
only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill.
Uh-huh.
owner.
All right. All right, y'all. Let's get into this. Let's do this. Welcome back to another episode of the Jovial Pursuit Podcast. I'm your host, Jovi, with my co-host Brandon, and a guest today. How we doing, everybody?
Good, good. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Solid. So let me start with the introductions. Uh, in the bottom section here, we have one of the most generous human beings that I've ever come across. Just like it's his second nature completely. So met him in the coffee shop that he runs downstairs from my neurologist, Montebello Cafe in San Diego. I met him super dizzy, and I kept forgetting his name. He told me a bunch, and I kept forgetting it. But every conversation that we've had from that point has been a delight. And I'd like to introduce you guys to Leo. Leo, can you tell the people about yourself?
Well, I mean, such a great introduction. I don't know what else I can say. Jeez, I don't leave. No, I appreciate you bringing me on. Yes, we always have great conversations when you come in, you and your wife, and now the baby. But for me, I mean, I was in the military, did 24 years, ended up quitting. No, I ended up retiring. Then I just,
Mhm.
due to like some mental issues that I had, you know,
Mhm.
diagnosed with major depressive disorder. And I decided, you know what, I'm not going to be able to work in a normal workforce. So let me try to do something that can make me feel better, still be able to do something. So I opened a coffee shop. And ever since I've been doing this, I've been meeting people, being able to talk to them, and it's been great. It's made me a better person, you know. So it's been good. The venture that I'm going on right now. So,
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And you're also a father, like you said, you got some young ones. Give us the rundown.
oh man, so I have a 23-year-old. He's great. He's in college. He actually just graduated from college. He's working at a lab, doing some stuff. It's cool. Biochem.
Congratulations.
The second,
Ooh, biochem?
yeah, biochem. Yeah,
Ooh, all right.
It's
smart
pretty
kid.
solid.
Give it to
That's
him.
impressive.
Yeah. Then the second one, Dominic. He's actually was he a political science major? He wants to be an attorney or lawyer. Yeah, so he's kind of going that direction, doing really
Can
well.
Oh
we
wow.
can we get him in office sooner than later? Like I'm just saying we need some
We need
new
some new faces.
we
Wow. And he's 8 years old, so I kind of started all over again.
ah
Got me.
yeah.
So yeah, that's it. I mean, he's in elementary school being Nicholas, so pretty much it.
Awesome. He's always seemed like such a proud father. The same way that I see you, Brandon. Do you want to give your rundown real quick?
Oh, I have four kiddos. 11, 9, 7, and 5 now. So our oldest is Esther, and then we have Liam, who's 9, then Theo, 7, and Lucy, who's 5. And Lucy, man, like our so statistically, the youngest ones in families are always the ones that like push the farthest. And Lucy lived up to that this morning when she mouthed off to me, and I was like, "Hey, we don't do that." And she smiled and walked the other way, and my wife was like, "No, no, no! You get back there. You do not talk to your father that way." And she said, "Dad, will you forgive me?" And I was like, and she's still smirking. And I got down on her level, and tried to go nose to nose, and I was like, "I would forgive you, but I'm not sure that you're actually sorry." And she grabbed my cheeks and goes, parents always forgive their kids, and then walks away. And I was like, the guts on this kid.
Yo, that's gall.
Mhm. But I mean, it was. I don't know if you guys ever read the Chronicles of Narnia at all, but we're reading
Only the one.
yeah.
The
So Lucy's the youngest in the character, and we were reading the book when
yeah.
my wife was pregnant with her. We were reading it to the older kids, and Lucy's this character in the book who's like the first to approach a lion in the story, and is like unafraid. She's just like, no, I'm brave, and goes up to this lion. And unfortunately, we were like, oh, that's a sweet name. We should name our child that way. And the guts that she has to go up to me as a parent is like, yeah, aw, you're
You
mad at
gave
me.
her the essence of that kid.
Yeah, I was like, dang it.
You can only kick yourself for that.
I know. I
Ah,
know.
that's worse. That's actually worse.
Yep.
And then for myself, I have Isabella. She's downstairs hanging out with her mom and auntie who's in town. It's a good time. They're giving me a break to hang out with you guys, so that's awesome of
Mhm.
them. Thank you guys. All right, yeah, let's get into this. So I I'm new and I'm wanting to build a group where new fathers hang out and have chats with experienced fathers and where they can pass off information or stories, anecdotes, and all that, where it's a learning experience, where there's not enough conversations out there with this. And I was chatting with Leo prior to this saying, yeah, there's just not a larger conversation about this that needs to be had. It's little pockets here and there. So I'm trying to set the platform up for hopefully that to come next, where hopefully we can, as a group, start, getting those stories out there, those experiences.
Mhm.
My first question that I'm hoping you guys, and I'll start with Leo, that maybe you have something for. How did you get through the frustrations of the newborn phase?
There's an ending to it. I didn't know that. I didn't know there was an ending. Um, oh, I don't know. I'm trying to think because I have three different. I have Cameron, which is the oldest. Then you got Dominic, Nicholas. They were all different. Um,
Mhm.
so with Cameron, I feel like he was so much easier. Like I don't know. I feel like he could just change his own diaper within the first few months. But talking about the frustration, like what in particular? Like what frustration? Just the stress of it, or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, for instance, one of my situations right now is my wife, although on maternity leave, she's still doing some appointments as a therapist, wherein there are stretches of time where I am the main one looking over Issa, and there are moments where I've done everything that I can physically do, and I have to still bear with her until her mother is available. Um,
Mhm.
how do you work through those moments or the late nights where it's constant crying and things like that? Or, it's just it builds, it's a new overwhelming thing and it kind of builds up. How do you work through that?
Well, I would say because me and my ex, he was working full time, and it was just me really having to. So wake up in the morning, getting everything ready. So I would say in the newborn ages, it wasn't so much school. I think he started daycare around 6 weeks when they can start, like the earliest they can, because I was still military. So
Mhm.
so she was on maternity leave that whole time. But once she had to get back to work, I took over. I think for me, it was just more like you have to take a break and let him cry. Like I had to, because if not, I don't know what I would have done. You know what I mean? Because your way your mental state is, sometimes you get so frustrated. So it was like you had to just allow, for me, let him just cry, then come back to it, and say, okay, now I'm gonna do this. I mean, I don't know. I feel like because I have what is it, 6 month old dog, and I feel like I'm having a baby again. Like they don't listen, you're trying to take care of it. It's like, oh my gosh, like is this
Mhm.
and I take that break also. So I think for me, I just had to take a break because sometimes I think we have so much emotions and we acting out with those emotions. So it's just one of those. Let me take a break. Yes, he's gonna cry. I just need to just before it gets worse, before I do something I'm not supposed to be doing type thing, So
Right.
young parent, I was really young. I think I was like 21, 22. I was really young. So, I mean, not that age makes a difference, but I think sometimes when you really don't know, you're still trying to grow up yourself, it makes it more difficult. But yeah, I don't know. That was really what I did. I just took a break and just made it work. So I definitely was in your shoes where, my ex was working all the time. I had to go do the, feeding, the changing, the naps, and try to get my own nap in too at the same time. So it was tough.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would agree. I just recently saw something on Instagram like that, where it's like the best thing you can do is lay them in their crib, a safe space, and walk away. Like you said, to take that break. And I'm finding it difficult at times because my heart's so open right now that I'm like, yo, my kid is crying. There is distress, but like logically, I know I need to pull back, but it's tough sometimes. Brandon, anything else on that?
I think being aware of the process that you're going through with newborns too, as a dad. I mean, like quite literally, um, like kiddos come out and they know mom's smell, they know mom's voice, they know mom's heartbeat, they know mom. Mom's their sort of home base until, dads, you get to sort of build that relationship and have that spot too. So I think part of it's just kind of like I think being aware that there's going to be those moments that are going to be bumpy because it's new for kiddo, new for you. Um, mom, yeah, like kiddo's here now, but mom kind of had the cheat code of like 9 months of like, being in the same body
We
together.
we
Like,
go together.
yeah, like, which is a little not fair. Like, but again, I'm sure most moms would be like, yeah, but then we have to push them out and you want to trade? And I'm gonna have to be like, I don't know.
Bro, I might just, but I'm
Ooh,
spiteful.
oh,
It's because I'm like, listen, I'm sick and
this is
tired of it. If I needed to do it, let me do
all
it.
right. I'm just saying that's building up for an episode where we get you like one of those like contraction monitor things and
I
just be
thought about it.
like, let's give this thing a shot, man. Like,
I
put your
thought
money where
about
your
it.
mouth is.
Oh, first of all, I know Jill was a champion there. Like the
Well, yeah,
nurses
yeah,
were
yeah,
saying,
yeah,
no, she should be screaming right now from what we
yeah,
see on the monitor. And she's like just breathing through. She's like, and I'm like,
yeah,
yeah, no, I saw it in action.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think there's just something to being aware that
Yeah.
like this is like it's not comfortable to listen to your kid be upset and then also to not necessarily be able to do there's no answer right now. Like the
Right.
kiddo's upset. We don't know why. Like the kiddo can be colicky and sometimes they might just want mom. Like they just want their home base and that's
Mhm.
okay. But being able to set them down and realize like, hey, you just hang out in the crib. I'm gonna go like calm myself down for a couple minutes here.
Yeah.
Then we'll be back. And this is it's a process we'll get through because then eventually you'll find that your kiddo, you'll find like Issa, like she'll calm down with you and Jill more than she'll calm down with other people or be comforted by you. But it's part of that. I think it's part of the process that like some people were just not aware of when you're like, oh, sweet, I'm holding my kid. And then your kid's kind of like, hey, like I'm upset, but
Pushing
I
off.
can't.
I'm like,
Yeah, like I can't tell you. The only communication strategy they have is crying. So you know,
it's a language I'm learning day by day
have
because
you
it's different.
have you
Hmm.
heard yeah? Have you heard the
Yeah.
different ones? Like there's
Mm.
like that's
Oh,
always
I
weird.
know when
Like
she's gassy because
oh yeah,
it's high pitched and blood curdling.
hmm
It's oh my. The fact that I
yeah,
can hear anything right now is a godsend.
yeah.
I will because one of the incidences I had the other night was the other day was I had spent a lot of time with her. Jill was in appointments all morning and there wasn't a break period. which typically there is, and I'm like, 4 or 5 hour stretch is well, that's a bit much on both of us. Where I'm like, here, as soon as she got out, take your kid. I came into my room, and I played a couple songs, and that helped calm me down. But it also made me reflect, and I'm like, this kid knows nothing, and I'm the one that I've got experience with. Like, I need to bear this better than her. So I wouldn't apologize. It's something that I want to start early in that where I'm like, bro, you need to know that I make mistakes too. I'm not a perfect being.
Yeah.
Um, but know that I'm going to apologize and try and fix things as best I can. And then like I held her and she was calm and it felt good.
Yeah.
But some of those days or nights have been tough where, lack of sleep heavily plays a part into it. Sometimes just feeling like you don't have a moment to like stretch your legs away.
Hmm.
And it's been a lot, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a month. She's still alive, so that works. I
Yeah.
think I'm doing it okay.
Yep.
um, Leo, what's one of your favorite things when it's come to raising children?
Huh. I'm still waiting for the oldest one to leave, so I think that's probably gonna be the most enjoyable day. No, I don't know. That's a tough question. I hate to say it's a tough question because there's so many enjoyable things. With my kids, it's just so many things. I mean, just
Well, give a couple.
man, just like what was it the other day? I went to my son's soccer game, and I had just walked up and literally just pulled up, and he just runs after me, and gives me this biggest hug, and and my heart just exploded, like in
Mm.
happiness. So just things like that, it's a wonderful feeling, you know.
Right.
One of those things that people don't think about as much, but it's just little things, that I love. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, that's when they're older, but you're talking more like a baby though. I mean,
Just in general.
yeah. I mean, what else? I mean, even my oldest one, I think he went and got me something that I've always wanted. I didn't think he remembered. And I know it's materialistic, but still, it was like his own paycheck, his own money, his own time. And he just wanted to get it for me. I was like, all right, Dominic, I appreciate that. I didn't think you would do that. And, Cameron, he did the same thing, and I'm like, and how'd you guys remember this, So when you have your kids do that, I think that's one thing that makes me happy for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Mhm.
thinking about you like that. And we don't think as a parent that they're thinking about you like that, but they care so much, and it's wonderful to know that you've raised them right, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm
It
still
it what is it? It adds validity to everything that you've done and been through.
right, right.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Um, so a couple things come to mind. For me, I love so with kids, like at every stage, everything they're doing, it's like you get to re-experience it as a parent and enjoy it, watching your kids enjoy different things.
Mhm.
Like growing up, I always loved being around animals and this um so this last week we were in Florida for a conference that I was at and we took the kids to don't even. We'll get to that some other time. There were
Yeah.
we'll tell the story some other. There were some stories. Um, but so one of the things. So I always love being around animals, and so we were at Busch Gardens, and we get there was like this kangaroo exhibit thing, and they at Busch Gardens, if people don't know, they actually have spots where kangaroos could just like come out and hang out with people, like yeah,
No,
and
I've
so
never
like
been.
there
I've wanted to.
it was pretty cool. But like there was this kangaroo that was just like hanging out, like laying on the path where you had to walk, like on the sidewalk. And the zookeeper was like, "Yeah, I mean, he likes to come out in the morning and like get his pets in, and then he goes back to his like he's pretty chill." And seeing my kids, they were just like laying next to a kangaroo, just like, "Isn't this guy amazing?" And I was like, "That's just a cool thing for a parent just to be like,
That's
seeing them
awesome.
enjoy that." But I think the other thing is seeing what's innate to them and like what their skills are, what their hobbies, and getting to sort of join in growing that within them. Like each one of our kids has a different thing that they love or they're really good at, like or that's just sort of a passion to them. Like our son Liam loves playing the drums. And so I took him to a concert, and it was his first like concert he's ever been to. We went down to Minneapolis, and I was like, no, this like I know you've heard music, but this is like you're gonna feel music now. And
True.
he was like, okay. And seeing his eyes light up, like when the one of the bands that I've introduced him to came on stage, and he was like, what, like you can see his little brain just like, what is this? I'm like, this is living, man. I'm telling you, music is different. Like you gotta feel it, and you gotta be with you gotta be with people that'll dance to it and like groove with it, like and seeing just like things that are unique to them, and it helping to grow those things or get them to experience it, um like our 5 year old who's super spunky, like she was like, I want to learn how to swim and I can swim. And so we were like, all right, let's see what you got. Let's put you in a pool. And she was like, just loving it. And she could have swam all day, every day. But like just I think getting to experience life alongside them and see cool things together, do cool things together, but then also get to help like see what's innate in them and help grow those things and help them like help launch them farther,
Right.
like, I think the greatest success you can have as a parent is when you like your kids launch and they go farther than you ever could, and you're like, yeah, all right, we did something. Way
As
to
it
go.
should be.
Yeah.
Let them come to rise in power,
Mm-hmm.
One of I started early with this, but one of the things that I started doing was watching old shows,
Hmm.
like old cartoons, just because it's put me in a different type of mindset, Um, if I see her riding a bike and I'm like, nice. I really because I enjoy riding a bike or any running around and stuff. Just like you said, what comes to them, I want to be involved in that, but I also want to show some of the things that I was excited about as a child and
Yeah.
pass on both of those things. It's been an amazing thing so far,
Do
even
you
in
have
my
a
frustrations. Hmm.
do you have like a specific like experience or hobby that you're looking forward to her knowing or joining in?
Music,
Okay.
anything music related, because I play the drums. I love singing. It's a constant thing. I just got brand new headphones and they sound so good with the music that I've been playing. It's a
Hmm.
good time. Like I
Hmm.
love music, so if she gets into that, that'll be super awesome. Or anything just crafty, you
Yeah.
know, because I like building things with my own hands and like doing stuff all the time with that. Where I'm like, if she gets into that, that's cool too. Honestly, anything she gets into, because as you know, Brandon, I have a wide variety of things that
Yeah.
I like to be involved in. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty open. Whatever she wants to do, unless it's country music, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Go hang out with your mama. I don't
Hold on.
know.
But I don't know if did you see that Tipsy's about to break like the longest streak on the top one in
Is
the
that
Billboard?
Shabuzi?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he already did.
No, I think
Didn't he last week?
it was I don't know if it was the longest of all time. I think it was like longest of like the last
Uh,
decade or something because he beat
oh, okay.
because like the I think the top one of all time is Little Nas with
Oh,
what,
that first song.
yeah, what was it?
I don't
I
listen
should.
to. I don't listen to Lil Nas.
No, like what it was with Billy Ray Cyrus.
Old Town Road, wasn't it? Something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that was on the airwaves heavy. That's right.
Yeah. So I'm not a big country music guy, but I will tell you, Tipsy for some reason
I'm not
hits.
gonna lie. That's about.
Yeah,
I don't.
like it's just
I've never heard it fully through. Just like clips of
it's.
it, and I'm like,
I mean, it's a blatant song about alcoholism for sure.
well,
like it's
that's okay.
like
I'm not one to really cast stones and whatnot. As I got a 175 in my freezer right now, Maker's Mark. It's a good time.
I'm just reading the lyrics. You're right. Straight alcohol. Yes.
oh yeah, like it's
It's the
just
bar song.
Yes.
no, but I mean it is because isn't the whole objective of the song like, hey, you know, it's we should probably move. It's getting close to bar close. We should probably move along. And they're like, no, let's hit it. Let's run it back. like,
Keep going.
Yeah. Woke up drunk
Oh my.
on this again.
yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, this man, he needs therapy though. I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh hey,
like
buddy.
like this is a problem. like
There's this thing called AA. Let's try it out.
yeah. But do you remember how many songs? I mean, Javon, you and I have had that conversation. Like, how many songs just blatantly you're like, yeah, this one's hidden, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, but if I read these like it's a a paper or a book or
Hmm.
something like that, this isn't this is bad. this is not
What
good.
were some of the ones?
Maybe it's cold outside was one of them.
Number one.
Yeah, for sure.
No. If you're just reading that as text, Leo, have you ever considered "Baby It's Cold Outside" and the back and forth in that
No,
scenario?
I haven't. Now you got me looking.
Okay, because it's this lady and this guy, they've been hanging out. She's trying to go home. He's trying to get her to stay and shack up. And she's like, my parents will worry. He's like, don't, it's fine. I gotta go feed my pets and shit. Like, nah, they'll live. It's cool. Like, get your ass back in the house. Like, it's real bad.
it's so bad.
Ah. Um, what was it?
There was like some other John Legend ones that we were like,
That man, I think I sent you. That man is despicable. Let me see if I can search it quick.
there were just so many that like the music hits and you're like, someone's
You're
not
like,
okay here. Someone that's you got a family. You can't be talking. No. How's Chrissy doing? How are the kids? Come on now.
the kids.
Like, this isn't okay, man. Like you should be like doing flashcards with your kid in like second grade. Not no.
It was a
Come on.
song about cheating. That's what it was.
Yeah.
He was constantly stepping out. And
Uh-huh.
he's like, but I always love you, baby. And I'm like, sir,
Nope.
Oh my god.
if you love her, stay home.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-mm.
It was a whole thing.
There's a lot of songs like that.
He wrote, because I sent you a screenshot of like it's the song lyrics, but he was in Kev on Stage's like comments, and he's like, yes, but I can also change. And that's where I was like, he doubled down. He's like, no, but I'm a different man now. No, you are not. Oh my goodness. There's it's a lot of I gotta watch out what songs I play for her at this point.
Yeah, you do.
So conscious of it now, man.
No, you just gotta stick to like the old theme songs. Just stick with
yeah.
like
Uh, like we said, Arthur here the other week.
Clifford,
Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
I've been watching a bunch of those recently. First of all, what's up with Miss Frizzle? What sorcery does she have? Someone needs to, this woman. I ended up going on a whole thing where I'm like, if they make a live action, she's got to be a descendant of Merlin. He had a
Okay.
sidekick animal. She has a sidekick animal.
Mhm.
There's certain episodes like her earrings will glow and stuff where I'm like, what's that? What are you doing over there? The fact that she can shrink into the microcosm, go into
Yeah.
space, she breathes in space. I'm like, but it'd be an awesome one. I
I
sometimes
mean,
write Leo, so I start off with these little random ideas and then I never touch them again.
yep. I mean, she's like the sort of Pippi Longstocking version of like uh what is Mary Poppins?
Mary
Like,
Poppins, yeah.
yeah. Where she like what Disney never explained like why does this nanny have some sort of like magic? And they're just like, don't worry
It's
about it.
it's a whole witch society, and she got
Yeah,
to
like
sign some people. And I'm like, wait,
she's
there's
like,
a witch system? Is it Hogwarts? Hold
I mean,
on,
full circle.
huh? Okay. This is completely aside from the kid thing and what nonsense we're talking now. Um, in general, Leo, how well, one question, how long have you had the cafe now?
Shoot, what, 2 years now, roughly.
2 years? What have been some of your experiences in that time being a entrepreneur and business owner and so forth? As Brandon also has his, and I want to start mine. So there's also that I want to pick your brains on that in future episodes there.
All
So,
right.
so
But
basically, like being an entrepreneur so far.
yeah, like because I'm sure that there's been difficulties where mental health might get involved where you might not want to be doing as much because of an episode or anything like that, and how do you work your way through those moments as well? I'm like, because we see you on the outside always happy and whatnot, you just giving and being awesome.
I'm always happy inside. All of, there you go. I love the mug. I'm always happy. 24. What are you talking about? Come on.
He gave this to me for free on my birthday.
Did not quit telling
I-
you. I charged you. How much am I for? $17. That's what I charged you. Matter of fact, I just charged the person after you. Don't worry, you're good.
Fair enough, as long as it's not my pockets.
So you talk about entrepreneurship and how it affected me mentally.
Yeah.
I was down the coffee shop probably early in the year, around February or so. I had a big decision to make because this coffee shop here, it's not a big moneymaker. It really isn't. Very small, as you know, as you've seen it. So I found a new location. It's actually in Sereno Valley, really big. Had Dexcom, had some other companies out there. They were going to make me a pretty good deal, basically saying, "Hey, no lease agreement," basically meaning I don't have to pay anything. Just set your shop up, just do well. It's the only thing we ask. There's no more Starbucks. There's like no other coffee shop nearby. So I went there and looked at it. It was a very great opportunity, but I had to take a pause back and think about what this company was about or what this brand was about. So as I thought about it, I had people texting me, "Leo, where you at? Are you okay?" It was all these customers, right? It hit me. Like, you know what? It's not about the money. It's about the people, and I just felt like I had to make the right decision. Do I want to make a lot more money or do I want to kind of focus on people making them happy? Because I knew at the new place, I could probably make them happy, but I feel like I'd be so busy, I wouldn't be able to have the conversations like I do now with them because I'm not as busy. You know what I mean? I wouldn't know my customers. I might know their drink, but not really know them. And that's really what I kind of wanted to make sure I stayed focused. What Montebello Cafe really stood for was really just make sure everyone's happy, getting to know them. Not saying the coffee isn't great. It is great, but I wasn't really trying to remember your coffee report. I was trying to remember about your kids or about everything, about the work. That's kind of why I made my decision just to stay here. So I think that's one of the biggest things as an entrepreneur. You have to kind of go back and forth on what's important. So that's my experience.
I love the feel because it feels like community when we come in there. He's chatting with this person, that person, and it reminds me of just a different time where we used to have that communication with store clerks or, hang around the shop for a while, get to know the people in your town and whatnot. So I love that you continue that feel, and it's so important to you and your business. Um, Brandon, can you tell me some of your trials and tribulations and how you stay mentally strong running your facility as well there? Because I know it's tough
Yeah.
being in mental health, but then the late nights of paperwork and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
How do you make it
I
through?
I think I told you one time how like I think the toughest trial for me is especially being a small business owner, entrepreneur, like you're just doing it all. Like you're wearing all the hats. And I think so Leo, I had told Jovan one time um some if someone calls and they're like they're like hey something's off with the bill or this and I'm like oh I'll get it right to the billing department or like or I will get right on I will get our IT guy on that I have no like and
Yeah,
I'm
he's
like
out today.
like
Get-
because because I think like part of it was just this exercise and like I there is a different department like but I'm we're small that I am that department so just being like yeah I'll get it right on there or we'll get it to we'll get it to human resources we'll get it to I'll get it to accounting like I got I'll get it right to them
yeah, no, they've been swamped back there, or they've been lazy, and it's just you.
yeah
Yeah, this guy over here, I tell you what, but
it's
I'll ream into him
uh,
this evening.
yeah I'll
I
get
assure you that.
yeah
Brandon, stop telling people the secrets, man. That my team will get to it. Oh, my team didn't see that email. It was me.
yeah yep. And but I think I think for me, like Leo makes a great point of like having a solid footing on why, like because if you're chasing money, you're chasing responsibilities, if you're chasing obligations, you're gonna lose track of what made you want to do it in the first place, and that's kind of the passion and the desire, and that's the purest thing that keeps you going because it comes from like a core motivation. Like, so for me, I really wanted to have a space that, like, I really wanted to have a space that had really good therapists, but also like treated the therapists the way they should be treated, like, and take care of them. And so like, it sounds weird to say it this way, but I wanted a, a mental health clinic to feel like home for the clinicians and clients alike. Like so like a space where like it just it like people it's not it's like a safe space and a healthy space and a sort of home type environment that's going to help people work through stuff.
Mhm.
And then kind of say, all right, now like go on, help share that with others, keep you know moving like, paying it forward if you will. So, but always having a solid foundation of like this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. If there's money involved with it, fantastic.
Mhm.
If there's success in it, fantastic. But if I start chasing numbers or location or I'm gonna burn out because then that's not that that's not the motivation that replenishes me. I mean, there might be
Right.
people out there that are like, I'm chasing money and I love money and if that's them, I'm gonna be like, you do you. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, shoot, we could put it out there and be like, hey, that's why we have Amazon today. Like, had a guy out there that was like, I love money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go make me some.
He took that far.
He did. Well, I mean, because I mean,
Yeah.
when you look at the business model that he created, like in Amazon warehouses, everyone knows that the business model is you're planning for your warehouse workers to only be there 2.5 years. Like,
What was it? A plant in Georgia just fired or laid off a bunch of people because they're swapping them out for robotics, like
yeah,
full
yeah, yeah,
automation.
yeah. Like in and especially if I mean, I don't like that, but I
Mm-mm.
also am like. I don't know that I've ever looked at Amazon and been like, "Hey, you're a family company. You're supposed to take care of your own." I've always been like, "Oh yeah."
Not
Like
once.
like for real, like if Amazon was gonna have a country like metaphor, they're Russia for sure. Like cog in the wheel, just
Didn't they try and do factory cities?
did they?
If I'm not mistaken, they tried it where they wrapped a whole town around a warehouse. They were really going to try and pull that off. Ridiculous. What I like about the both pieces of advice, and it's going to end up being today's good advice, is remember why you started. Um, because, like you said, Brandon, we lose track of, you know, that point of why when we're caught up with obligation, responsibility, money, all of that. I've even had my own moments with this series where I'm like, I'm trying to get sponsorships and I'm trying to, take it up a notch and whatnot, where it at times has lost some of its organicness because I am trying to do XYZ. And it just and we see the hits on those episodes. It just the energy's not it's not as strong as when we're just hanging out talking, and something random comes up. You know,
Mm.
it's I yeah, I definitely like that advice, and it's one of the ones that people need to know early and remember early is why am I doing this? And I just
Hmm.
want people to have a good time and good information thrown their way with this. So I like
Yeah.
that. Let's see. Leo, you want to tell us anything else? How we can find you? We'll be having you on the episode again for sure. Uh, give all your social medias and all that.
You can find me on Montebello _ Cafe SD. That's Instagram and TikTok. Always come down to the coffee shop, 7625 Alpha, Mesa College Drive, and that's in San Diego. So anytime you guys want to come on by, if you sit there and say, "Hey, I subscribe," like I'll give you a free coffee. How about that? I think that's an easy one right there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Put it on
Follow him.
your tab though.
Follow him.
Nice. Follow my guy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Got to. But
Yeah.
hopefully I can come on here more and be able to support you guys.
And let us support you as well. We'll definitely be reaching out. But thank you again for coming on to the show. It's been a great chat. And we'll call it there. Peace and love, guys.
Bye.
All right. Stop sign.